When this little man was born, there was a timer on his head. Every time he took a step, the energy dot on his head would lose a grid. At first, the little man didn't understand what it meant until he saw another little man walking by him. The energy grid on his head was consumed little by little until it was all gone. Then he collapsed and turned into a flower. The little man then realized that he only had 10 steps in his life. He looked back at the flowers around him and began to feel afraid. At this point, he had the last 8 steps in his life. So, he tried his best to take as many big steps forward as possible. But no matter how careful he was, the energy grid on his head still gone away. This time he was completely panicked. He immediately sat still on the ground, not dare to move any further. The sunshine he has been wishing for was in front of him, but it seemed like it was something he could not reach. The little man then laid himself down on the ground, thinking by doing that, he could live in this world forever. But when he woke up, he found that the surroundings were already full of flowers. The little man mustered up the courage to stand up and tried to stand on the flowers to embrace the sunshine, but failed. He looked forward with a firm gaze and decided to walk out toward the sunshine. When he finally passed through the flowers, his energy grid had only 3 lefts and his sunshine was already about to set. He raised his feet and looked at the last 3 energy grids above his head. He did not want to miss the last bit of sunshine again because of his hesitation. So, he took a step and go forward with all his strength. But the sun he was chasing for still disappeared. Now, he only had 1 step left in his life. At this time, he suddenly squatted down. Then he used all his strength and jumped as far as he could toward the place closest to the sunshine. However, the moment he landed, his life also came to an end. The energy grid turned into water drop and turned into a small flower. As the roots kept growing downward, a miracle occurred. He fell off from the cliff and plunged into the water. With the flow of water, he drifted towards the direction of the light again. In this way, the little man can embrace the sunshine and miraculously began his new chapter of rebirth.